it gives us a chance to celebrate, and that's really what today is all about. It's about celebration, and not only of these unique individuals and the schools they represent, but all of the hard work that goes into school programs, whether it's speech, music, drama, debate, officiating, coaching, administering, what goes on. It's a chance to celebrate the unique contributions that these individuals made to the overall association.
Our first athlete to induct is Megan Franza Carlson. Megan was a multi-sport athlete at Cascade of Leavenworth. She excelled in the classroom with a 4.0 GPA and holds 24 school records in various sports, in basketball, volleyball, and track and field. Was Washington State's Girls Player of the Year in 1997. Megan then accepted a full-ride scholarship in basketball to the University of Washington. Megan had a great career with the Huskies. She started with the team as a 4-year starter and posted a 3.9 GPA. So she had a great run in this classroom and also on the court. Megan later was drafted by the Phoenix Mercury in 2001 and eventually became a teacher at Kashmir High School. And she continues to be a role model there today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first inductee, and she's from 2016, Megan Franza Carlson.
My fondest memories as a student athlete in high school was the fact that of the friendships and the relationships I made with teammates. I got to play with my sister for 3 years, 4 years in track, and my best friend that we went to college together, we met during a track meet. So many times in sports, so many things feel like a failure. Every missed shot, every foul, every race you don't win. But learning how to fight back from that, learning how to look ahead to the next thing and flush what's happened before, were so beneficial to me.
Our second athlete to induct this year is Kasey Keller. Kasey started soccer at an early age of 6 years old, starting as a goalkeeper eventually at North Thurston High School down in the Olympia area. And he then went on to be in tournaments in Europe, throughout the European countries at a young age and get very internationally developed in that way, which is great for his future career. He was recruited by schools from across the nation, but Kasey stayed close as he ended up going to the University of Portland, so he stayed in the Northwest, which we certainly appreciate that too. His professional career began in Europe, where he delivered in goal for 17 great years over there, and then he returned home to the Northwest, and I think we were all very happy about this, that Kasey was the original starting goalkeeper for the first 3 years of the Seattle Sounders FC from 2009 to 2011. And he was an all-star all those years and was also goalkeeper of the year in 2011. Right here we have one of the best soccer athletes in the history of soccer on our stage, and I'm not exaggerating. Kasey is one of the greatest goalkeepers to ever go between the posts. And he was named for several awards as U.S. Soccer Athlete of the Year, an unprecedented 3 times, and is a 4-time World Cup participant. This is greatness right here. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome our second inductee, Mr. Kasey Keller.
That high school experience for that player it can be the pinnacle of their playing experience in life, and understand that. It just teaches you life lessons. It teaches you how to win gracefully, teaches you how to lose gracefully, how to just kind of cooperate as a team, to take direction from coaches, to cooperate with teammates. And I think it's just a huge component of life skills that you learn playing in team sports.
Our third inductee, as we have our next athlete to induct into the Hall of Fame, is from the class of 2015, and that is Tanner, ladies and gentlemen. Was an accomplished student athlete at Newport High School. We have the Newport contingent right there in front of us. From 1988 to 1992, his sport was swimming, and he owned the water during his career, setting many state swimming records. Following high school, swam for the University of California, becoming a 3-time world champion in the 200 butterfly. So, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome Tanner?
High school athletics is a great time when people can come together, different ages of kids, and learn what it's like to think of themselves within a group and to learn how to be successful as a team. And it's a special thing to remember for the rest of your life. It just provides a different kind of unity and teamwork that you don't experience in the classroom.
Our first Fine Arts inductee is Bruce Gutgesell, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce is a University of Oregon graduate. He taught music in the Lake Washington School District for 30 years, serving as Director of Bands, Fine Art Department Chair, and also Activities Director. Bruce has received numerous awards during his great career and still makes major contributions. He is currently a university supervisor for student teachers and facilitates college credit coursework through the Continuing Education Department program at Central Washington University, so he stays very much involved. Bruce has and will continue to make a major impact on music in the Northwest and throughout the country. Please welcome Bruce Gutgesell to the Hall of Fame, ladies and gentlemen.
Certainly I've been involved in some memorable performances, some culminating events, and certainly my groups, we were honored to be invited to play at some pretty prestigious things. But when I think about it all, it's not so much about those concerts. It was about practice. It was about rehearsals. It was the day to day. It was working towards steady growth. And it was and as a teacher coach, trying to find a way to motivate my students every single day when many of them would come to class with a different set of motivations depending on how their day was going. And then with that, just the relationships of being with kids every single day.
Our fifth inductee overall and second Fine Arts inductee here this year is actually, and Bruce was from the class of 2015, so this one is from the class of 2016, and that is Joel Underwood. Joel graduated from the Northwestern School of Speech and the Speech Education program at Metropolitan State University in Denver. Joel has been a longtime teacher of history and speech at the Seattle Academy of Arts and Sciences, great school right there, where he chairs the Department of Rhetoric and coaches the school's competitive teams. He's also been very active at the state level and reaches out to mentor through social media. So he covers all the bases, does a tremendous job. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joel Underwood to the WIAA Hall of Fame.
I think, well, just like any team sport, what these activities teach is that your individual achievement is awesome, but everything is better when it happens as part of a team. I just have a really strong memory that's stayed with me for decades now of just looking down the row of my team all sort of spaced out in that auditorium and going, man, how lucky am I that I get to spend my weekends with this, an incredible caliber of young men and women that work so hard as this.
This is a gentleman that has a very recognizable face. I've seen him at tournaments. I saw him here today and I go, man, you're just a fixture of what we do with the WIAA. So let's welcome our first coaching inductee, Greg Brashear, ladies and gentlemen. Greg Brashear started his coaching career as the head girls track and field coach at Garfield High School with a great and proud tradition in many areas, and that began in 1972. His teams won 8 state championships. His teams consistently set state championship records, state records along the way. Consistency, big part of what Greg is all about. He has won several Coach of the Year awards. He's been inducted into the Washington State Track and Field Coaches Hall of Fame. That happened in 2003. Garfield High School has a strong tradition in many areas, and in the area of track and field, it's Greg Brashear who has put them on top and recognizable as the head of their department there. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Greg Brashear.
I think the best compliment we ever got while I was coaching was the Puyallup team, which was very good at that time and always a thorn in our side. We were getting prepared for the meet, and I heard their coach bring them in, and I was sitting down with my kids. We were going over a few things before the meet, and I heard the Puyallup coach say to his kids, said, go sit by Garfield. Maybe some of their class will rub off on you.
Our second coach to induct in 2016 is Jan Kirk, ladies and gentlemen. Jan was a head volleyball coach at Fife High School, home of the Trojans, for 24 years, accumulating a record 637 wins with 18 league titles, 14 district titles, and 4 state championships. That's a heck of a run right there. Jan also coordinated the state all-star volleyball tournament held at Fife High School for 20 years and founded the Puget Sound Volleyball Academy. Jan has previously been elected to 3 Hall of Fames for her accomplishments, and the development and increasing popularity of volleyball in the state of Washington is Jan's legacy. And ladies and gentlemen, Jan Kirk.
If you're going to give something your best, whatever you do, you should be organized. And I think that whatever it is you're interested in, it has to be a priority. It can't be something you decide to do when you have nothing better to do. I enjoyed myself. It was fun. I won more than I lost, but I think the losing is when we learn life's lessons.
And our third coach to induct this year is Dan White. Dan was a teacher and head baseball coach at Eastmont High School in Wenatchee, where he had a great run. He was there for 33 years. 31 of those years, the teams had winning records, including a state title. He is also an assistant football coach for much of that time there at Eastmont. Dan also has made major contributions in baseball at the state and national levels. Let's welcome Dan White to the WIAA Hall of Fame.
You know, I'm sitting here listening to all of this, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that has the feeling. I just kind of realized I'm getting an award for something that not one time in my life did I think was really, I was going to work. It was something that I loved to do. I had a 33-year fun ride as a coach, enjoyed every minute of it, and have many memories that'll last forever.
I know there's some people in this room, a number of people in this room have probably done some officiating in their time, and we do have one inductee as an official here in 2016, actually from the class of 2015 though, Cindy C. Wilson. Well, Cindy began officiating junior high, high school, and college volleyball in Southwest Washington in 1980, eventually becoming more and more involved with the Washington Officials Association, which is a great overseeing governing body of the officials in the state of Washington. Cindy has been recognized for her service with awards and previous Hall of Fame inductions. Cindy's father was also a lifelong official and was influential in Cindy becoming a referee as well. And it passes on to the next generation because she has 2 daughters. They're also involved in officiating. So ladies and gentlemen, if we could please welcome Cindy C. Wilson.
The impact that officials have on the game and student athletes, it varies, and I think it's more palatable than officials think. It's either good or bad, negative or positive, and if we can maintain positivity, then it really shows the athletes that we still enjoy it. We're adults, we can still have fun. Life doesn't end when you can't play anymore.
So now we move over to our 4 contributors, and we start things off with John Crawford, ladies and gentlemen. John was a math and computer education teacher at Pasco High School for 30 years. Great run there. He also coached basketball, track and field, and organized the school's first cross-country team. Great contributor. John's skills in numbers allowed him to apply that skill to cross-country and track field events, developing valuable metrics. John was named the Washington State Cross-Country Coaches Hall of Fame. He entered that in 1998 and received a state track Lifetime Achievement Award in 2008. So he's been well recognized, and that's why he's here today. The track at Edgar Brown Stadium in Pasco is named after him. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Crawford.
I have so many friends, you know. I was an athlete, I was a coach, I was a referee. Those are all accomplishments in themselves. I've participated, you might say, in all levels. And the people that support athletics at all those levels need to be congratulated.
Our second inductee as a contributor is Dick Langum. Dick made a major contribution as a teacher, coach, athletic director, assistant principal, and superintendent of over 30 years in Monroe, Colfax, and Kashmir school districts. Dick was also actively involved with Canfield and Associates, a third-party administrative group servicing insurance needs of Washington schools throughout the entire country. His work has enhanced sports, especially in recent years with the concern over head safety and head injuries. Dick retired from Canfield in 2012, but continues to be an active proponent of school athletic safety. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please welcome Dick Langum.
Well, first of all, it's an opportunity for young people, guys and gals alike, to experience new things that they may not. Then the other part is they can also learn teamwork, working with others, working with the public, and developing the personal skills that go with it. Now, where do you use those? Oh, throughout our life. So it's all good.
Now we recognize our third contributor and our 12th inductee overall, and that is Jim Meyerhoff. Jim graduated from Puyallup High School and was a standout wrestler at the University of Puget Sound. He built the wrestling program at Franklin Pierce High School and then went on to do the same at nearby Pacific Lutheran University. He returned to high school in the ranks there as a coach and in administration at Franklin Pierce High School, and then went to the White River School District. With deep involvement also in the MAT Classic, which is an institution and a model throughout the United States as to how they do wrestling at the championship level. They do a great job and have for many years at the Tacoma Dome. He's also been instrumental in the growth of girls wrestling in the state of Washington and throughout the country. He is a member of the University of Puget Sound Athletic Hall of Fame and 3 other Hall of Fames. We're proud to have Jim join our Hall of Fame today. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a great round of applause, Mr. Jim Meyerhoff.
I felt fortunate that I was involved in literally all levels. You know, I was an athlete, a student, and then went on and became a teacher. I coached, became an athletic administrator and an athletic director. And through all of that time, you know, I hope that I was able to use my skills and dedication to impact those students in some way, helping them to become contributing members of society in the future.
So our next inductee, and really just crank it up for her because she's just an integral part of what makes it great to go to a gymnasium or a stadium or a high school sports that are being covered. And for as long as I can remember, she's been there, and that is the great Sandy Ringer. Sandy is a tremendous writer, and I've had so many great years reading her stories about the athletes. She went to Eisenhower High School in Yakima and then attended Washington State University, where she became the first female sports editor of the Daily Evergreen there at WSU, and that was back in 1975, so she's a groundbreaker, a great trailblazer as well. Sandy began her journalism career in Oregon and then worked her way back up north, eventually getting to Valley Newspapers nearby here for 6 years, and then she got her dream job, and fortunately we're all happy she got there, at the Seattle Times, and she still is contributing to the Seattle Times to this day, which we appreciate. Sandy has won numerous awards for her sports writing excellence and will be a contributor for many years to come, which is what we're looking forward to. Please welcome our lucky number 13 and final inductee here in 2016, Sandy Ringer.
I've gotten to write some great stories about some great people, and you know, it's the story that tells itself really, and you're just an avenue for that, an outlet. And then lastly, I think just being you know, an advocate for girls and women's sports, and feeling that people make me feel that I made a difference in that way, makes me feel proud, and that I, you know, made a little bit of a difference in this area for especially for girls sports.
Each class brings something unique because each individual is such a star within their own realm, and yet they're great human beings. They're more than just athletes. They're more than just administrators. They're more than a coach. They're good people. They're people who care about themselves, of course, and they care about others. And that's what makes them great beyond their competition. And that's really what we're trying to do, is celebrate not only how they did, but also who they are. And that's the foundation of the Association's Hall of Fame.